It is the start of a new year, and it is the perfect time to find new ways to get ahead on your financial goals. Joining us now is the Oracle of Orlando, certified financial planner, Bert. Joe, great to see you.
Good morning, Amy. Good to be with you.
Well, your firm was just named in CNBC's top 100 list, so a big congrats to you.
Yeah, we're very proud of that. Out of 40,000 firms throughout the country, we're the only one here in Central Florida that got named. We're pretty proud of that. Very proud of it, as a matter of fact.
As you should be. So you've got 7 great ways to set ourselves up for financial success this year. Let's start with the first one. Invest in tax advantage accounts.
Well, this is far and away for all of our viewers is to get long-term financial security. You need to save for yourself, because at the end of the day, when you stop working, the only thing you will have is Social Security. And if you haven't put money aside for yourself using one of these tax advantage accounts, and I'm talking about a 401k, 403b, IRA, 457 plan, something that's sponsored by your employer, where the money comes out of your paycheck before it's taxed. So you get the opportunity to put the money in, you get an immediate tax savings, and the money grows without being tax deferred. This by far and away is the silver bullet, if you will, to avoid long-term financial insecurity when you retire.
The next one on the list, save money in high yield vehicles. And we're not talking about a Mercedes or a Range Rover here.
Stuff it in the trunk. Unfortunately, people let their money just languish in low yielding checking accounts or savings accounts. And, you're costing you money. Now you need to have emergency money laying around. You need it because when you need a new tire, the transmission falls out or the air conditioning blows up, you need to have the ability to tap your funds, but you don't want to leave it in a low yielding account. Right now, American Express is offering 3.3% on savings, and there's no minimum. So this is something to look at. Go to American Express Savings, and you get a great return. And the interest rate is adjusted. So as interest rates continue to climb, the return on that money will continue to climb. So I check that out.
Better than keeping it in a checking account for sure. You also say attack debt with a high APR.
Well, these are, your high interest rate credit cards, and people aren't aware that if you're just making minimum payments on something that's 18, 20, 22%, you're going to be paying on that for many, 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 many years. And you want to get out of that. So one of the things you want to perhaps consider is doing a bill consolidation loan to get yourself down to a lower interest rate. But you want to be careful. A lot of these credit card companies, they will offer you these teaser rates. Get in now, consolidate your debt, and it's fine as long as you make the payments. But the first time you miss the payment, the interest rate jumps back up and you can mess yourself up. But credit or interest, I should say, is the thing that eats away at most people's long-term financial security, because once you never get a chance to recover that interest and people live unfortunately on credit cards. So you want to minimize that as much as you can.
You also say it's time to check your budget, something we should always do at the beginning of every year.
Well, most people don't like to live on a budget. We spend whatever we have in our pocket, and you're running a business. Actually, when your household is a business, you have to look at the money you have coming in and what your fixed expenses are. These are the expenses for your mortgage payment or your rent, your insurance, health insurance, food, all the essentials. And then we have the discretionary expenses like dining out and movies and vacations and those kinds of things. We have to separate the needs from the wants. The needs are the things that have to be paid, and the wants are the things that we would like to do. And in those needs should be paying yourself first. As we said early on, you want to pay yourself first out of your paycheck. Try to set aside 5-10% of whatever your income is into those retirement plans. And that's what you need to do. But once again, looking at where the money is going is critical. And then understanding the difference between the needs and the wants. Hey, take care of the needs. And if you have money left, do the wants.
You also say a way to save money here in the early part of the year is to negotiate your bills. How do we do that?
Well, this is once again gets back to the credit card companies. If you have obviously some credit card debt, you call the companies and say, listen, here's the situation. I'm really struggling to do this. Is there some way we can reduce the interest rate and give me a break? And believe it or not, credit card companies will do this for you. They would rather get paid something than get nothing. And if you're in trouble financially, you want to do that before they start calling you. So if you see, you're on the precipice of perhaps missing a payment, you want to get right to it. Call the companies. They're not going to take your head off. They will negotiate with you. And many times it will either lower your payment and or lower your interest rate.
Also, increasing your savings rate. You touched on it a little bit, 5 to 10%, but that sometimes is hard for people to do.
Well, it's a discipline thing. Once again, if you just consistently put some money in a cookie jar, if you've never saved any money before, start putting money in a cookie jar. First week, put in $1. Next week, put in $2. Next week, try putting in $3. Before you know it, you've got several $100s to put away that if you have an emergency, you won't have to put on a credit card. So have that cushion money. Have that money that you know that is the emergency money. And that's a start to building long-term financial security.
Well, Joe, we could talk to you all day. That's it for us as far as time goes. Thank you so much for joining us. Where can people find you?
Just Google me, Joe at Financial Group. I'm sorry, the Oracle of Orlando or joebert.com.
All right, Joe. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Andrea.